All right, let's bring in former homicide detective and Fox News contributor Ted Williams, just back from Moscow, Idaho, and attorney Brian Claypool. Gentlemen, thank you both for joining us today. Ted, let me start with you because you were actually on the ground in Moscow for several days, and so you have a real sense of what investigators are doing there, one of which it seems is trying to rule out theories. So now there's this revelation of another stabbing of a couple in Salem, Oregon, not too far away from a couple of years ago. One person survived, and police, as you heard, said they're looking into that. But I want you to listen to police about the notion that one of the students, Kaylee, had a stalker. Let's listen.
We have heard mention that Kaylee stated she may have had a stalker. Detectives have been looking into that and to this point have been unable to corroborate the statement, although we continue to seek information and tips regarding that report.
So, Ted, some of the students on campus were talking about that. They've been unable to corroborate it, as you heard. So do you think they're ruling out that theory altogether?
Well, I don't think they're ruling out any of the theories, Anita. I think they are following up on any and all leads. They're following up on the Oregon lead. I'm sure they're still checking out the information concerning the stalker. But one of the things that they've said very clearly early on in this investigation is that the perpetrator or perpetrators had a target. It has come out as late as this afternoon that authorities allegedly have told one of the fathers that one of the individuals was being stalked there. So if they, well, I stand to be corrected, not being stalked, but targeted. And so as a result of that, they know a great deal more than they're letting on to the public. And I believe that sooner or later, but very soon, that they will be able to resolve this by forensic and information that the public will be able to give them.
Wow. Okay. Well, I guess that's good news that you think that they might be able to make some discoveries soon. Brian, let me ask you, we're hearing today about another murder back from 1969, more than 50 years ago, another University of Idaho student who was murdered while working in a diner nearby. Here's a quote from the Lewiston Tribune. This is a newspaper that's not too far away. They cover Moscow, Idaho. They say a young waitress, killer never found during Sunday evening of December 28th. After all customers had left, an 18-year-old waitress, Janice Lynn Foyles, was preparing to close. A yet-to-be-explained tragedy struck. Foyles, a Moscow high school graduate and freshman at the University of Idaho, was found bludgeoned to death behind the cafe counter. Now, Brian, this was a long time ago, but as a lawyer, do you rule this out, or do you need to follow up and find out what happened with that case? No one was ever arrested.
Hey, Anita, great to be back with you, and happy Thanksgiving weekend. Look, these other murders that you're talking about years ago, I think are a distraction. No offense to those murders, but look, like Ted said, this was personal. This heinous murder of 4 girls was highly personal. So I doubt that this relates to a murder 5 years ago, 10 years ago, or 30 years ago. I think there are 2 things that are concerning the community in our nation. A, the lack of transparency in the investigation, and B, do we have enough resources to investigate this? Right, Anita? I've heard there have been over 70 or 80 interviews. I've heard there have been over 700 tips. Does this local police department have the resources to process all the tips? Where is the FBI? Are they involved? What are they investigating? What does the medical forensics tell you? For example, there was a report that there were defensive wounds. That's crucial, Anita. Why? Because there's likely skin tissue under the nails of one or more of the victims. That's important because you can take that tissue, put it in a DNA database nationwide. Potentially, this killer might be in that database, and you've got a match. Yeah. What about the phone records of the roommates? Have those been examined? I find it odd that a roommate calls 8 hours later and says, oh, hi, I think we have an unconscious body. Wouldn't they be hysterical? Wouldn't they be screaming? Was there blood spatter on any of the roommates' clothing? Have those clothes been examined? Those things need to be analyzed, Anita, and the community, more importantly, needs to hear about that so they can have an assurance that the police are really digging in deep and that they can feel some sense of security.
They do need to know about it. Classes resume on Monday. We do know the FBI is involved, so hopefully we get some of these questions answered soon. Ted seems to think that we will. We will follow the story and we will see, but gentlemen, got to leave it there. Thank you very much for joining us today.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.